Good evening, darlings and deviants. My name is Lucy, and I'm just a little loony. Excellent spoiler season is in full force, but I don't really care. I mean, I do care. The set looks super cool and super pushed. I mean, have you seen the cute vampire girl? I mean, whoo boy! What I'm more interested in talking about is one of the Fallout commanders that was spoiled a short while ago. I'm a huge fan of the Fallout series, and Mr. House is one of my favorite characters. His magic card is nothing to sneeze at too, so I'm gonna talk about it some. Without further ado, let's start the show. Now, Mr. House isn't out yet, but he'll be releasing in the Fallout Commander decks early next year. I figured I'd get a head start in talking about him because holy crap is this an interesting Mardu commander. So, what'd he do? Well, Mr. House, President and CEO, is a 0/4 legendary artifact creature human for a red, a white, and a black. Notably, it's a 0/4 creature without Defender, which is pretty interesting. Not like he'll be attacking since this ability is really sweet. Whenever you roll a 4 or higher, you create a 3/3 colorless robot artifact creature token. If you rolled a 6 or higher, instead create that token and a treasure token. He also has an ability that says for 4 generic mana and a tap, you roll a 6-sided die plus an additional 6-sided die for each mana from a treasure spent to activate this ability. You don't get anything from the dice roll except for the robots and treasures. But we can probably fix that a little bit and see if we can make it a little bit more spicy. There is something to note on the first ability. It's not if you roll those numbers on a 6-sided die specifically. It's if you roll it on any dice. So if you, for instance, roll a d20 for a card like Treasure Chest and hit anything above a 6, well, you're getting a robot and a treasure plus whatever you get from the dice roll. Not to mention using the ancient dragons of brass, copper, and gold in these colors for bonus value. But these are obvious. People were talking about this seconds after Mr. House was spoiled. No. You come to this show for the spice, for the jank. And just for you, my lovely audience, I have just that. As the #1 Unfinity advocate and previous employee of the Astratorium, I am legally required to mention whenever Unfinity cards are good in a deck. And for Mr. House, not only are these cards flavorful, but they're also pretty functional. Let me show you some of my favorites, and before you ask, yes, all of these are legal without a Rule 0 discussion. First, we have Clown Car and Attempted Murder, both cards that are X spells that allow us to roll tons of dice. Clown Car is an X-cost 1/1 artifact vehicle with crew 2, which is kind of bad. It's not that good on its own, but it lets us roll X 6-sided dice. For each odd result, we create a 1/1 white clown robot artifact creature token, and for each even result, we put a +1/+1 counter on the Clown Car. Now, ideally, we're getting more tokens rather than putting +1/+1 counters on the Clown Car, but either one is just fine because what we care about is rolling plenty of dice. Attempted Murder, however, really has us going to the craps tables. For X and 2 black mana, we get a sorcery that does something kinda similar to the Clown Car. For each even result, we put 2 -1/-1 counters on an opponent's creature. And for each odd result, we make the most powerful token in existence, a 1/2 blue bird creature token with flying called Stormcrow. Clearly, Merrill was not aware of what he was doing when he unleashed this card. I can't very well talk about a deck with red and white in it and not mention Comet Stellar Pup. Comet's a planeswalker that has one ability: roll a 6-sided die. Honestly, we would probably just play it if that's all he said. If he was just 0 loyalty, roll a 6-sided die, we would probably just play him. But he also gives us extra benefits depending on what we roll. Ideally, we roll more and more 6s to benefit Mr. House, and keep rolling dice with Comet. But even rolling 4s and dealing damage is okay. And even if we whiff on a 1, 2, or 3, we're either recurring advantage or getting extra squirrels. Finally, there's Attractions, represented by Complaints Clerk. Complaints Clerk is a 3 and a white for a 3/3 creature beast employee with, when Complaints Clerk enters the battlefield, open an attraction, and whenever you roll a 1, create a 1/1 white clown robot artifact creature token. Attractions are easily one of my favorite card types in this game, but they require a little bit of an explanation. Ahem. So attractions are a type of artifact that starts outside the game. If you're using attractions, you gotta have at least 10 of them with unique names in one deck with no duplicates. Luckily, there's 22 of them legal for commander play, so you shouldn't have any troubles there. To open an attraction, you just take the top card of your attraction deck, which you still have to shuffle at the beginning of the game, please don't be cheating, and put it into play. From there, it's an artifact like any other. If it gets destroyed, you put it in a place called the junkyard. Think of it like the graveyard, but it's different. Different dimensions, different timelines, it's wibbly wobbly, don't worry about it. No getting attractions back after they've been blown up, kinda sadly. It takes a bit more to repair these things, speaking from experience. Once an attraction is in play, you can try to visit it. At the very start of your main phase, meaning after you've drawn a card but before you do anything else, you can roll a 6-sided die. Once you have that result, take a look at it. Does it match up with one of the lights on the side of the attraction? Congratulations, you visit that attraction. Do what it says and then take the rest of your turn. Do the lights not match up? Well, you still trigger your dice roll effects. Like Mr. House, for instance. A CEO setting up attractions to make some money on the side seems pretty in flavor to me. There's plenty of cards that interact well with Mr. House, and I am so excited to see what extra support we get alongside him. He might not be the headliner of his deck, but he's certainly my president. Well, he's better than Caesar at least, or Caesar as he likes to be called. But hey, what do you think? Do you think Mr. House is cool, or do you think another one of the spoiled Fallout commanders is cooler? Let me know down in the comments below. And while you're down there, give me a like and a subscribe. Lets me know I'm doing a good job and keeps this show on the road. As always, thank you all so very much for watching, and until next time, au revoir!